So till now, we learned app, then tab, these top topics are very important. Today we will going to see relationships. So as of now, we created an objects, but those are independent. Like one object is not related to any object. You can see we have a patient and we have a doctor, and I created some of other objects like medications, operations, and bill. But these objects are independent right now. But since we will be using a relational database, so instead of using an objects individually, we can relate them. So as of now, the patient will be coming to for a particular reason, he will be coming to visit my hospital. Then I'll be taking his details and I'll be creating a record for him. Once he visited for any reason, then he will consult a doctor. Doctor going to be assigned for him and he will be giving him a prescription. So for that, we created another object called medication. So a patient will be coming to my hospital and doctor will be assigned to him. Then the doctor will be giving a prescription for him. Prescription. So those are all prescriptions will be stored in medication object. So once the medication has been done and his consultation is finished, then all his billing details will be there in bill object. So if the patient requires any operations, then the details of that operation will be stored in operation object. Yeah, two of you didn't added your IDs, like still it's showing your name. Can you change it to your name? There is Gayu and Sairam. Hello, can you do that? Okay. Yep. So how?
So should I join with my enrollment ID?
Yeah, just you can change your name here. If you click on top of here.
You asked me to change my name?
Yeah.
What should I put it?
Yeah. They provided you some ID, right? Like GDM, SFT.
I'm just checking it on. Okay, I'll just check it on and then change in 2 minutes. But meanwhile, you continue with class, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
So to do that, Salesforce provides a functionality called relationships. We can relate these two objects. Instead of storing the data in a single object or making it repetitive, we can create a relationship between two objects. Like whenever, like it is like a parent-child relationship. Relationship is nothing but there should be a parent record. For a parent record, we can relate a parent record with child records. In this scenario, patient is my parent record. First, to create a bill or to create a medication or to create an operation record, there should be a patient. If the patient exists in my system, then only for that patient I can create a medication record or a bill record. So here all relationships will be based on parent-child relationships. That means there should be a parent object and child object. So we'll be creating a relationship between two objects. One will be the parent and one will be the child. If we create a relationship at the object level, that will exist for records. That means when I create a patient 1, like when I create Ravindra as a patient, then for this Ravindra I can create one medication record. If I'm visiting second time, instead of creating a new patient record for the same patient record only, they will create another medication record. So whenever I am visiting for a consultation, each time they will creating a child record for this parent record for Ravindra. Ravindra is a record. This is the parent record, parent, and these all are childs. It's like primary key and foreign key. So what we are doing is, as of now, there is no relationship exists between patient and medication. When we create a relationship, what will happen is, it will save this parent record ID into medication object. So in Salesforce, we have basically two kind of parent to child relationship. This is nothing but one-to-many relationship. That means one parent record will have many child records. Parent to child relationship, it's a one-to-many relationship. In Salesforce, there are two types of relationships we can create. Lookup and other is master detail relationship. What I mean by lookup and what is the usefulness of master detail relationship? Lookup relationship, it is a closely coupled relationship. Well, lookup relationship, it's a loosely coupled relationship, whereas master detail relationship, it's a tightly coupled. That means if I establish a lookup relationship between two objects, then child record may exist without parent record also. There is so that's why it's a loosely coupled relationship. It's not mandatory to create a child record. parent is not mandatory in a lookup relationship. Whereas if it is a master detail relationship, it's tightly coupled. That means without parent, I cannot create a child record. And one more thing with master detail relationship is, if I delete a parent record, automatically child records will be deleted. So that's why they are tightly coupled. In lookup relationship, if I delete a parent record, child record still exists with parent record ID as null. There's a basic difference between lookup and master detail relationship. How we establish a relationship between two objects? It's like same. Like this is a patient object. This is a medication object. So first we need to decide which is my parent object and which is my child object. In this scenario, patient is my parent and medication is my child. So we will be establishing a relationship on child object itself. Go to the child object and click on new. There you can see lookup relationship and master detail relationship. So first we'll create lookup relationship. So medication will be master. So before creating a relationship, there should not be any records. First delete it. So this operation will be done for a particular patient. So here I have to go for lookup relationship. Next, which is the object, which is my parent object. Here my parent object is patient. So here I can make it's a mandatory or not. For time being, don't select this. Next. So now I established a relationship. I related this operation object to patient. So now you can see there is a no tag existing for, as of now in our database we are having these many custom objects. We have medications, operation, patient, doctors and bill. But here I created only 3 tabs: patients, doctors and bills. Now if I want to create an operation record or a medication record, how will I do? So because we didn't provide any accessibility for those tabs, right? So that's why I'm existing a relationship between these objects. So I created right now a relationship of lookup with operations. So instead of exposing the database table as an object or as a tab, what will happen is save. Now you can see, because we established a relationship between patient and operations, it's by default it will add a related list to this object. So instead of creating operation records through tab, I can create from parent record itself. So why this operations is coming? Because this object is related to patient. So that's why for this patient I can create in operation record. So if I click on new, can select something. Let's see. You can see this operation is going to be performed for this patient. Now these two records are related. This is the parent record. This is the single operation which is going to be performed on this patient. In the same way, for this for this patient, I can create one more patient record. So that's why it's one to many. Parent is only single, but childs are multiple. So I told you, if I delete if I delete parent record, still this operation exists. You can see parent is deleted, but still child record is existing. This is a lookup relationship. So there won't be that tightly coupled relationship between parent and child. See, for each record, whenever I'm creating into Salesforce, this is called record ID. You can see in a URL. Once the record is saved, it will be shown in the URL. This is the record ID. For each record, it will be unique. For each record in database. So when I am creating a relationship between parent and child, what it will be doing is it will save that parent record ID, parent 18-digit record ID here at the back end. At the front end, we'll be seeing the record name, but at the back end, it will save that particular record ID. If I go to schema builder, yeah, can create a multiple parents to a single child object. Like right now it's related to patient. I can create one more relationship with another object. If it is a lookup relationship, there are maximum I can create 20 lookup relationships. If I'm going to create a master detail relationship, one object can have only 4 master detail relationship maximum. Now you can see patient. This is a lookup relationship. You can see this is the child record, one to many. Parent record is patient. For a single patient, I can create multiple child records. So this is a lookup relationship. In the same way, what's a master detail relationship? Uh, so now I'm going to create a master detail relationship between patients and medication. Like if a patient is coming to for a consultation, then doctor will must and should provide a medication. So I went to a hospital because I'm suffering from fever. Then doctor will have to give me a prescription. It's mandatory. Like for a particular consultation, it's mandatory to give a medication. Like I'm suffering from fever, so he has to give some tablets or something, some recommendations. So those everything will be tracked in medications. In the same way, bill. If I'm going to a hospital, after everything has been finished, like tests or everything, my consultation is finished, then I have to pay a bill. So this is mandatory. So whereas operation, a patient may require operation or may not require operation. It's not mandatory. So that's why here I went for a lookup relationship. Whereas for medications and bills, it's mandatory. So we need to decide which kind of relationship we want to establish. It's purely depending upon the requirement. If the records has to be tightly coupled, then we will go for master detail relationship. If they are not tightly coupled, then we'll go for lookup relationship. In this scenario, patient may require operation or may not require operation. So that's why I went for lookup relationship. Whereas with medications and bills, there has to be a medication. There has to be a bill for a single visit. So it makes sense to go for a master detail relationship. Any questions on how to choose a relationship, which relationship you want to create, either to go for lookup or master detail relationship? You should, depending upon the requirement, you should analyze whether it makes sense to go for master detail or lookup relationship. So always relationship will be created on child object. Click on new. Yeah, here you can see again somebody asking. Both lookup and master detail are one-to-many relationship, whereas lookup it's a loosely coupled. That means if I'm establishing a relationship as a lookup, then the child may exist without a parent, and that too. And if I'm having an access to, see here you can see. So what are the extra features of master detail relationship? It's the relationship field is required on all detail records. That means child records. Whenever I'm creating a child record, a parent has to be there. Otherwise, I cannot create a child record. And when a user deletes a master record, all detail records are deleted. That is not happening in lookup relationship. I showed you. I deleted a patient, but still that operation is exist here. And one more advantage is I can create a roll-up summary fields or master record to summarize the detailed record. That means when I'm creating a master, if there is a lookup relationship between a patient and a bill, so I can provide a roll-up summary of how much amount this patient has been paid till now. That means it will summarize. It will it will sum up all the bill amount for a single bill. So suppose for one visit I paid 500 rupees. For next visit I paid 1000 rupees. For another visit I paid 500 rupees. So it will sum up all the amount fields on a detailed record and I can show it in patient record. That flexibility is there if it is a master detail relationship. If it is a lookup, we don't have that feature. And we'll see this ownership sharing of detailed record determined by master record when we are discussing roles, user profiles, everything. But as of now, if I'm having access to a parent record, I will automatically get access to child record in master detail relationship. In lookup, if I see parent record, I can see or I cannot see a child record. It's that visibility is not restricted by parent. Whereas if it is a master detail relationship, if I can access parent record, generally we are administrators, so that's why I can see all data, everything. But in real time scenario, when any receptionist is using this this app, depending upon his role and his restrictions, he can only see some records. Receptionist can only see patient record and doctor record, whereas she cannot see billing record. Why? Because billing will be handled by some other person. So we'll be providing access for billing to only that person. So if I create a master detail relationship, if the receptionist has an access to parent record, that means patient record, then obviously she can see all the detailed records. What is his bill value? What is his operations done on this patient? Everything. In the same way, if the accountant is creating a bill record but he cannot see parent record, why? Because he won't be having any access to that particular patient record or something. So visibility of the record is based on the accessibility to the parent if it is a master detail relationship. If it is a lookup, that won't be there. Now I'll create master detail relationship. Creating another master data relationship with Bill. Go to Bill. Okay. Now you can see it's showing in a red mark, right? Red color. This is nothing but master data relationship. If a master data relationship exists between two objects, this is also one-to-one, but it is a tightly coupled. It's shown with red color. Whereas if it's a lookup relationship, it's with blue line. Both these objects are related to a patient. So one patient can have multiple bills. In the same way, one patient can have multiple operations. In the same way, medications, one to n. Both lookup and master data relationships are one to many relationship. Now if you go to bills and you click on new, it will ask you to which patient you are going to create this bill. So I need to select a patient record here. At the front end, I'll be selecting the patient, I'll be picking patient name, but at the back end, it will save that particular patient ID in this patient field. So I'm not seeing any record because there are no patients in the system as of now. So first we'll go to patients. Now you can see these are all the related objects for a particular patient. Now, once the doctor is treating this patient, he will go to medications and he will create a prescription for this. So here, when I am creating a relationship, the field will be looking like this. There will be a lookup icon. It will provide me a flexibility to select any patient record. I can search for any patient and I can relate this child record to that particular patient. As of now, there is only one record in my patient object, so it's showing only this record. So select and save it. This the same patient is visiting once again, he will create another medication. So one patient is having multiple medication, one too many. In the same way, bill. For single visit, 0. Total charges. This is a formula field I created by adding these two values. Now, what's the advantage of master detail relationships? When this object is a master detail relationships acting as a master, then if you go to patient, I can create roll-up summary fields of child records. So what is roll-up summary field means? Then this field will be enabled. This is a roll-up summary field. If it is a parent object, then this field will be enabled. And that too, if it's a master detail relationship, then only I can create a roll-up summary field on parent. So what it will be doing is I can show this summary of all this medications record. Suppose how many medications are there for this particular patient. I can count this number of medication records and I can show in patient record. In the same way, I can show the total bill values for this particular patient here in patient record, not in detail record. I can show the entire summarization of child records in parent record. That is the advantage of roll-up summary fields. So if you want to create a roll-up summary field, you will be selecting roll-up summary and click on next. Total medications. On which object I want to summarize. There are so many child objects for this patient. So medications, I want to summarize medications. You want count. Count means it will count how many medication records are there for this particular patient. Sum. Sum means it will sum up any field. To do a roll-up summary of a single field, either there should be a number field or currency field. Then only I can do sum of that currency field or number field. Minimum of what is the minimum number. Here only right as of now dates are there. If you have any currency field or any number field, then you can show minimum of that currency. What is the maximum bill I paid? What is the minimum bill I paid? If I want to show maximum bill, I will select maximum. If I want to show minimum bill, I will select minimum. If I want to sum up the total of all the bills, I will use sum. Here on medications, we don't have any number field or currency field. So I am selecting only count. Just it will display the number, how many number of medications are there for this patient. Click on next. Select maximum. Now, if you go to the patient, now you will get the summary of all the child records. You can see total there are two medications record. So here there are two medication records. It's counting how many medications are there and it's displaying here. And this is the total amount paid. As of now, he paid only 500 rupees. So minimum is also 500 and maximum is also 500. So as of now, total amount, it's a sum of all the three records. So for bill 1, bill 2, bill 3, for all these bills, total amount he paid 2000. In that 2000, minimum he paid is 300 and the maximum amount he paid is 1200. So if it's a master detail relationship, this type of flexibility will be there. I can summarize the parent child records data on parent record. If it is a lookup, I cannot do this. Yeah. Any questions or anything you want me to repeat? And so as of now, we are establishing a relationship between only one record to one record. Suppose I want to establish a relationship called many to many. How can I do this? So many to many. That means there is a patient and there is a doctor, right? So when any patient is there, I have to create an appointment for a particular patient. So one patient can go to many doctors. In the same way, one doctor can treat many patients. It's not mandatory every time I'll be going to the same doctor. Depending upon my problem, some other doctor will be treating me, right, every time. So that is nothing but many to many. Here, one patient should be consulting many doctors. In the same way, one doctor will be consulting many patients. If I created a relationship between these two objects, it doesn't work. Why? Because if I created a relationship between patients and doctor, patient can only go to a single doctor. Either one of it should be a parent and other should be child. So I cannot create a then one to many relationship will exist. But I want many to many. That means one patient can go for multiple doctors. In the same way, one doctor can treat multiple patients. With these two relationships, whatever we learned today, like lookup and master detail relationship, that cannot be achieved. So both these are one to many. So if I establish a relationship, if I am taking doctor as a child and patient as a master, so one doctor can see multiple patients. That's fine. One to many it's establishing here. But what about this patient want to go to different doctor. How can I create that relationship? That is not possible. Either patient can be a master or doctor can be a master. So my requirement is there should be a flexibility where Patient can select a doctor. At the same way, doctor can select a patient. That means whenever I'm creating an appointment, I should be able to select different combinations of patient and doctor. So that's how many-to-many relationship should be created. Do you have any idea how to create this many-to-many relationship? How to establish it? So okay, today's assignment is like read how to create many-to-many relationship and implement that in your publishing app, whatever app you created, right? Publishing app. In that, we have 3 or 4 objects. Just try to implement that there. Tomorrow, you should tell me what is many-to-many relationship and how to establish it, and implement the same in publishing app and show me why you implemented it. This one we'll discuss tomorrow. Today, you have to practice this lookup and master detail relationship. Then you will understand many-to-many relationship. External lookup data relationship is like if I'm creating any relationship with external database. I'm having a Oracle. I'm having a Oracle database. I want to integrate that one in Salesforce. Then I have to go for external lookup data relationship. That is the advanced one. As of now, it's not required. So just concentrate on lookup master detail relationship. Next we see page layouts. What is page layouts? Page layout is nothing but a UI, what the end user is saying. This is a page layout. This is the page layout. So as I told you, like whenever I'm creating an object, Salesforce will by default create a page layout for me. This is the edit page and this is the new page. This is the list view page. Salesforce by default creates this page layouts. How to modify this page layout? Suppose it's not looking good. Suppose your client asks you to change this disease problem into another section. Instead of showing in the information section, he wants another section called detail information. In that detail information, he wants to show this disease problem. How to how to do that? That can be done with page layouts. Salesforce will provide an option to modify these layouts according to my requirement. Instead of a single column, he wants in multiple columns. Here name should come, and after that here email should come, here contact number should come, gender should come. So I can modify this page through page layouts. So you will be going to the particular object on which object you want to modify. Then go to layout. By default, Salesforce will create one layout for a single object. So edit it. Properties. If you want to add one more section, select section and drop down here. Put this reason here. So you can see everything is modified. This entire page layout is modified. You can create multiple page layouts. So that can be done with page layout. You can also modify related lists. These all are related lists. Operations, medications and bills. If you want to as of now bill number is only displaying. I can add total charges. Consultation charges. And so now you can see it's looking like this. We added some fields. We can all even modify this related list. When I refresh it, it's giving me some more detailed idea. So through page layouts, I can modify this, whether edit page or detail page and even related list also. So we discussed about standard fields, custom fields and relationship and validation rules. And today we discussed about page layouts. Any questions? or anything you want to discuss about yesterday class or today class?
Hi, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm getting when I was trying to create the package object for the publishing, it was showing like permissions for this object are disabled for all profiles by default.
Can I make you presenter? What's your name?
It's Gaia.
Yeah, can you share your screen?
Yeah, I'm getting this error. I don't know.
Can you give packages instead of? వెళ్తున్నావా వెళ్ళాను వర్క్ ఫ్రమ్ హోమ్ చేస్తా permissions for this object. There might be some standard object with package or select publish package, something. Give label as publish package.
Where?
Label publish.
Okay.
Let me try to. You are not able to create any object or only this object?
No, I have created the object for the book.
So, let me try to create, say, an object here. ఈరోజు వర్క్ ఫ్రమ్ హోమ్ తీసుకుంటా బయట బాగాలేదు చాలా చల్లగా So I am able to create a package object. Okay, again go to object. I think you are doing save and new, right? Every time.
Yeah.
Save.
So you want me to do only just save?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any questions or any functions you want me to discuss? Because those functions are very important in this entire administration is based on those functions. So whenever we want to add some logic, we have to use those functions only. So you should prepare all those functions. Okay, if no questions are there, so that's it for today. Thank you. So tomorrow assignment is like you should read about all this lookup and master detail and many to many relationship. You should go through.
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Can I get your Skype ID? Because if you have any doubts at some other time before the class, so
I'm
can we
pinging you.
contact us through Skype to share our screen?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I just ping you in chat. You can contact me or Skype. Yeah. Just go through relationships and most important is that many to many relationship. Just read it, why we need many to many relationship. Is there any WhatsApp group? So some of you can create. My number is 43101389. This is my number. So I don't have any of your numbers. So some of you can create and then I will add Srinivas. So he will be adding all of your numbers. Okay. So if you're stuck somewhere, anywhere, just feel free to reach me. It's okay. We'll meet you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye.